If it feels harder to get bookings on Airbnb right now,
or like what used to work just isn't working anymore,
you are not imagining it. The rules have definitely changed.
Because in 2026, you're not just listing a property on Airbnb.
You are running a business whether you want to or not.
Hi, I'm Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are...
Thanks for visiting.
We've spent over a decade actively hosting, built a multi-million-dollar rental portfolio, and helped over 1,000 hosts grow more profitable businesses, collectively generating over $2 million in bookings every single month.
Our mission is simple: to be the #1 resource for hosts who want to build real wealth through short-term rentals.
The hosts we coach are coming to us to solve this problem, and we can say confidently, bookings aren't gone, but they're going to the hosts who are operating much differently.
Today, we're breaking down the new rules for getting more bookings.
And what you need to start doing right now if you want your fair share of revenue in your market. The biggest shift we're seeing is this: a lot of hosts still think they just have a property on Airbnb.
But that mindset doesn't work anymore. Because when you list your property, you're making decisions about pricing, guest experience, operations, marketing, expenses.
That's a business. Whether you intended it to be or not, whether that was your thought when you listed or not, that is what it is. You, my friend, are a business owner.
And if you're not operating like a business, you're competing against people who are.
And once you start looking at it that way, the gaps become really obvious.
You can't just put a nice property on Airbnb anymore and expect it to perform.
Here's what we're seeing with the listings that are taking most of the market share, okay? Winning listings today have consistency, cleanliness standards, a revenue management strategy. I can't tell you, like, back in the day, in 2021, 2022, I never heard the word or phrase revenue management. Now, it's starting to come up more. It's starting to be in more conversations in our industry. Stocking standards, clear communication, a defined guest experience.
This is not about a logo, and it's not just a cute theme. It is a standard for what it means to stay with you.
Right. Guests aren't just choosing a place, they're choosing a level of trust.
And if that's not clear, you will get skipped.
Superhost, guest favorite, they used to feel like the goal, and so many of you are still treating it like it is the goal.
And they do. They absolutely still matter, but they aren't enough to carry your bookings anymore.
Because not only now do a lot of listings have them, but even with Superhost standard or Superhost, OTA Airbnb doesn't lead with that Superhost designation anymore. It's like not as important as it used to be according to Airbnb.
They're not a differentiator anymore. They are the baseline for success. This is where most hosts, they start to lose control. When something feels off, they actually don't know what's wrong.
Right. And when we say, like Annette and I say this all the time, know your numbers, but you guys, we don't mean your Airbnb payout, right? Like, it's so much more than that. We mean occupancy, ADR, RevPAR, booking window, length of stay, and you've got to compare you versus your market, this year versus last year.
And this is how you actually understand performance, not just activity.
And also, all those metrics are really important, but then how do those metrics affect your P&L, your profit and loss statement? With your property, you have a balance sheet which shows you the success or lack thereof over the years with your property. These are the indicators. This is the information that you need to collect and then interpret for you to be a successful host in 2026. And if you don't know your numbers, how the heck are you making decisions? I really want to know that.
You're just reacting.
And this is exactly where most hosts are feeling stuck. They know something's off, but they don't know what to look at to fix it.
So if you want help with that, we've linked our Know Your Numbers worksheet for you. And I want to share a story with you about a host that works with us inside our one-on-one coaching program, Strategic Host. Sarah said it earlier, is how are you making decisions? You have to make decisions with the data. And this was a host, Christy. She used to make all of her pricing decisions truthfully on her gut, on what she thought the value of her property was, and truthfully would just panic price. Everything that she would do, if she wasn't booked, she looked at her calendar and she wasn't booked, she would just drop her price. Look at her calendar again, there was space on it, drop the price. We started to teach her how to use her neighborhood data, really understand her booking window, which Sarah mentioned. You need to understand when the guest is booking your property. She started making those decisions with the data. What happened is she was always dropping her price before the booking window had even closed. So she was leaving so much money on the table, and now, day after day, reservation after reservation, her ADR has increased, her RevPAR has increased, and her occupancy has remained the same, if not even gone higher. So she's using the numbers that she knows, the data that the market's telling her, and her year over year, month over month to continue to make more money, and so can you.
And the cool thing is with Christy, Annette, on the call, she was like, she said it herself, I'm not panicking anymore. And that's not a good feeling to feel panic, to see a spot in your calendar and to feel panic about that, so just to drop your price. Now she was like, you've taught me that I don't need to panic. All the information I need is there. I just needed to know how to look at it and what to do with what I saw. And so she has this feeling of control and peace in her business, which I think that's a much better way to approach a business than to always feel like you're in this panic mode.
Reacting.
So let's build on that, because that is the next shift that we're seeing. It's around pricing strategy. A lot of hosts think installing a pricing tool is the strategy. Like if they do that, the pricing tool should just do all the work. They turn on the dynamic pricing and then they never touch it again.
But software tools don't run your business, you do. You still need to review your pricing regularly, understand demand patterns in your market, adjust for those events coming to town, the seasonality of your property and your market, and the pacing of your guest booking. And if you're not actively managing your pricing, you're absolutely not maximizing your revenue. You're just accepting it.
This is the one that gets overlooked the most, okay? You can have a fully booked calendar and still not be making money, okay? You gotta know your expenses. What does it cost to even run your place? We call it your cost per reservation. Do you know what your current profit per property is?
And do you have a system to track this consistently? Do you have a bookkeeper looking over your work?
And a note on the bookkeeper. Everyone, this is like a hot topic right now between Annette and me. When you hire a bookkeeper, they're
not a hot topic because we disagree on it. A hot topic because
but they're treated incorrectly.
Hosts are not understanding the role of a bookkeeper.
Right, the partnership between you and the bookkeeper. Your bookkeeper is not your chief financial officer, your CFO. Your bookkeeper, in most cases, is not your CPA. The bookkeeper's job is to keep your books organized and to help you allocate where things go. And in some cases, you tell them where things go, and then they repeat that pattern month after month. Okay, but you are the leader of that thing, of your books. You are the one who has to know enough to be able to lead them in that direction. So if you think that hiring a bookkeeper, again, you're like wiping your hands clean and now your numbers are taken care of, you're gonna wonder why your relationship with your bookkeeper is always on thin ice, or why it's quote unquote not working. It's because you're not taking that leadership position. And if your response to me then is, well, I don't know, then you've got to learn, okay? I've done this over the past, 5, 6, 7 years. I've gotten much savvier in QuickBooks. I am by no means a QuickBooks expert, but what I'll do is I'll hop on a call with my CPA. I'll even bring my bookkeeper sometimes, and we'll discuss things together. How do my books need to look, CPA person, so that you can help me with my tax strategy and make sure that I'm getting my taxes done on time and they are accurate and yada, yada, yada. And so every quarter, I also have my CPA come in and look at the books. Is it moving in the direction he needs it to? Is it supporting the strategy that we have in play? So just know this isn't a set it and forget it, just like we discussed with your pricing. So revenue, it is exciting, and I don't want to downplay that.
Profit is what makes this sustainable.
Right, this is where everything comes together.
Yeah, your Airbnb dashboard, it's already telling you, are you being seen? Are you being clicked? And are you being booked?
So that instead of guessing what's wrong, you can pinpoint where the breakdown is by looking at that funnel.
2026, it is not about doing more.
It is about fixing the right thing. So those are the new rules.
And if this feels like a lot, it's because hosting has changed.
Which is why it's more important than ever to have a strategy around your hosting business. Inside Strategic Host, We help you take all of this, your pricing, your data, your operations, and turn it into a clear strategy so you're not guessing every month.
Yeah, and if you want help figuring out what's actually holding your business back, click the link in the show notes to apply. We will learn more about your business and we'll see if it's a good fit to support you. Let us know in the comments what feels hardest right now. Is it getting the bookings or understanding your numbers?
And if you're like, okay, I'm in the right mindset and you want to go deeper, watch our Airbnb metrics video. We break down exactly where you're losing bookings. With that, I am Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are
Thanks for visiting.